Around 3 months ago, I finished the super modded Stardew Valley series. Among many other mods, I used Stardew Valley Expanded, Ridgeside Village, and East Scarp. Recently, I've been thinking about the series, and I feel like each of those 3 mods deserve their own series, their own time to shine, so to speak. And so today, it is my pleasure to bring you all the first episode in the Stardew Valley Expanded series. Why did I choose to play through Stardew Valley Expanded first? It's pretty simple, really. A new update was released for the mod pretty soon after I finished the super modded series too, and I really want to see what new things have been added. I'm using a few other mods alongside the expanded mod, just to kinda keep things fresh. I will talk about each one as they appear in the video, and I will have links to all of these mods in the description. This series will be done using the 100 days format, which means I will be taking you through what I did on a day-by-day basis. Without any further ado, let us get started on day 1 of our journey. And here we are on day 1, where I begin by opening the box that was left in my house. I do not receive 15 parsnip seeds, no, I receive a nectarine sapling instead. I'll speak more about this sapling very soon, but for now let us focus on a cutscene that plays when I leave the house. Mayor Lewis is here, unfortunately, and he would like to know when my birthday is. I decide to pick the 11th day of spring just so we don't have to wait too long to see what happens on my birthday. This feature has of course been added by the Happy Birthday mod. Turning our attention back to the nectarine sapling, I know the smart thing to do would be to plant it, but in my business-orientated mind I have already made the executive decision to sell this sapling. I've also noticed a pear hanging off of a tree, so I grabbed that. We've already discovered 2 new items. Neat. I spent quite some time chopping down trees. Wood, as always, is going to be an invaluable resource here, I'm sure. I find an apricot tree, but I can't actually shake it to get an apricot from it as it is being blocked by tree stumps. Suddenly, I get the wonderful idea to chop down the pear tree I noticed a while ago. I was hoping it would drop a pear sapling, and luckily enough, it did. I find a dandelion at the bus stop, and I earn a tasty 2400 gold from the sale of the 2 saplings. You will notice some new items have been added to Pear Shop. This is because of the Everyone Sells Everything mod. The strawberry and mixed seeds I'm particularly interested in. I will say though, I won't be buying any Ginger Island warp totems or solar panels. Maybe I'll buy them when I've actually unlocked Ginger Island and the crafting recipe for the solar panel, but for now I definitely won't be touching them. I had plenty of options to choose from here in terms of seeds, but eventually I settled on strawberry seeds. It's not often you get the chance to buy them on day 1, so I might as well take advantage of that here. I make use of the part of the community mod. In a nutshell, what this mod does is it gives you 2 friendship points with a villager if they see you talking to another villager. Now, I know 2 friendship points isn't a lot, in fact it's very little, but for me the main purpose of this mod is to just add another layer to the friendship and the overall socializing aspect of the game. I find a conch at the beach and I talk to Elliot. I used the Look Up Anything mod to see what items he likes. It turns out he is rather fond of the forage item I just picked up, so I give it to him. I find a clam before entering the Blue Moon Vineyard. This right here is the home of Sophia, a farmer who specializes in the production of wine. Over in the right side of town, I walk past the museum and I venture into another new area. There's not much we can do here right now, though I do like the overall aesthetic of the place. It's nice just to have a little walk around the place. I found a common mushroom, which was a lovely surprise. I take a gander at the clearance bin inside Joja Mart. This was added by the clearance bin mod. Random items are being sold here, however I am broke, so I will not be buying any of them. As for Joja Mart itself, it looks like the items being sold here are cheaper than they are in Pear Shop. That's a nice change from vanilla Stardew Valley. It gives you more of an incentive to buy from Joja Mart. Saying that, I sorta spent all of my money already, so I say hello to my friends in the trash can community. One of them is kind enough to give me a bottle of wine. Now is a good time to mention that the town looks a bit different because of the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. In fact, that bottle of wine I found it in a trash can outside a new house that was added by this mod. I continue introducing myself to the villagers and I plop a chest down beside the mountain lake. I plan on doing a metric ton of fishing here tomorrow, so I can simply toss my inventory into that chest if it becomes full at any point. I return to the farm where I plant my strawberry and mixed seeds. I am using the remixed seeds mod, which allows any crop to grow from a mixed seed. So there's a chance, albeit a small one, that we could get ancient fruit or strawberries or kale. Or maybe even crops from the Stardew Valley Expanded mod to grow from these seeds. I have used this mod before, and I gotta say, it is probably my number 2 favorite mod, just behind the Automate mod, which I also have installed for this playthrough. With my farming duty for the day taken care of, I head into the forest. I head south and enter what I like to call the Big Forest. This might just be my favorite part of the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. I can't even begin to explain the joy I feel frolicking around this place, finding copious amounts of forage. There are 2 other really nice items you can find in here alongside that forage. The first is the ancient sword artifact, and the second is the forest sword. The second one is extremely beneficial to get at this point in the game. It should make the mines a lot easier to get through. I reckon I'll be using this sword exclusively. That is up until I defeat 80 bugs and I obtain the insect head. Those of you who watched the Stardew Valley but the season changes every day video I made, you're probably aware of how much I love that weapon. And that just about wraps up our very first day here in Stardew Valley Expanded. Day number 2 is here and it begins in a very sad way. I have to water my seeds. I already really want to get sprinklers. I venture into town and I take a look at the bulletin board. I decided to install the Help Wanted mod, which allows more than one quest to appear here at a time. This gives us more variety, more choice, and more things to do on a daily basis. I would like to get my hands on a fishing rod, so I visit William at the beach. Reliable as always, he bestows the bamboo fishing rod upon us. I consume a Joja Cola, pick up a conch, and find a geode in the trash can outside the museum. I enter the building, say hello to Gunther, and donate the ancient sword artifact I found in the big forest last night. I receive a delicious 250 gold reward. I decide to spend a bit of time fishing here in town, and by a bit of time I mean a lot more time than I anticipated spending here. I got a bit lost in the world of fishing, I will be honest. Eventually I talked to William and then Demetrius to turn in a quest they gave me. Both of them wanted me to catch a smallmouth bass. Then I spend the remainder of the day fishing at the lake up here in the mountains. I won't lie, I wasn't a big fan of the fishing minigame for the longest time, but at some point last year I started to love it out of nowhere. I'm at the point where the whole process of just casting my rod into the water, catching fish, and seeing my fishing level increase for the entire day is an incredibly enjoyable experience. I find a fire quartz in a chest, which is a lovely find. I also hit level 2 in fishing. What a wonderful day. Speaking of wonderful days, day 3 is here and it is raining. This means I don't have to water my crops and catfish will appear in the river. These fish are worth a pretty penny, so I believe I shall spend the majority of the day attempting to catch them. After receiving the crafting recipe for the furnace from Clinton, I chop down a tree. I use the wood I get from this to make another chest. I do a foraging run in the backwoods, I believe it's called. You know, the area behind the farm that leads to the mountains? That place. After collecting a bunch of fish from the chest I placed beside the lake, I check out the bulletin board. Unfortunately, I can't do any of these right now. Prismatic shards, pomegranates, pearls, there's no way I'll be able to get my hands on any of these items. Oh well, we might have better luck tomorrow or maybe the day after. I sell my fish to William and I use my newfound fortune to buy the fiberglass rod. My first destination is the area just south of Sophia's farm. Catfish aren't going to spawn here because this area is considered to be part of the beach, but we can still get some valuable fish here. At around midday, I pick up my chest and I move to the river in the forest. I catch my first catfish. Nice, that is the first of many that shall be caught today. Hopefully anyway. It would be very sad if I couldn't catch any more. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that as I catch another catfish very soon afterwards. Bubbles have appeared, which means we can now catch even more fish. I take a break from the river and move back to the original spot I was at this morning. Now that it's evening time, we can catch an eel. And I do catch an eel, not just once but twice, which is very nice. The part of the community mod really shines when a bunch of villagers are in the same room together. Like what you're seeing right here in the saloon. Again, we probably got maybe 20 bonus friendship points with everyone here, which isn't a lot, but it's something at least. It's back to the river for the rest of the day. We haven't just reached level 3 in fishing, or level 4, no, we hit level 5. Fish are now worth 25% more gold. Lovely stuff. Day 4 begins with the watering of our crops. I sell quite a few fish, bringing our bank account up to over 2,000 gold. I collect some forage items and return to William once more to sell even more fish. I have Clinton crack open a couple of geodes and make a few donations to the museum. The clearance bin inside Georgia Mart is not being kind to me. I was really hoping for a nice bargain or two by now, but no such luck. If we can catch 4 sunfish, then we will complete a quest for William. On top of that, we will receive a prize ticket as it would be the 3rd completed quest. I can't imagine this one will be too difficult, assuming I don't just forget to do it, that is. I buy the first backpack upgrade. That is one of 3 upgrades acquired. Normally there would only be 2 upgrades, but I have the bigger backpack mod installed. This mod allows us to buy a 4th row in our inventory. We can buy this one after we purchase the next backpack upgrade. After spending the rest of my money on strawberry seeds, I spent some time fishing. I was able to catch 2 sunfish, but that's all I can do for now. The sunfish doesn't appear anymore after 7 PM, so we have to wait until tomorrow to get the remaining 2. I'm having a lot of fun fishing right now, and especially catching new fish that were added with the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. Well, no, truth be told, now that I think about it, the only new fish I've caught from that mod are the goldfish and the minnow. Anywhomst, I spend the rest of the day fishing. I return to the farm before the night is over. I want to toss some fish into the shipping bin and plant all of the seeds I got today. Day 5 has arrived, which means we get to adopt a dog. I call this dog Muffin in honor of one of the greatest cartoon characters to ever exist. Mother has sent me some cookies, thank you very much. I eat these almost immediately after receiving them as I have no energy whatsoever. With my strawberries watered and a single parsnip harvested, I partake in some foraging shenanigans. I make 10 spring seeds just because. Then I watch a cutscene which I am sure we are all very familiar with. I feel like I've watched this cutscene at least 30 times by now, probably even more times than that. Long story short, the community center has been completely abandoned. Mayor Lewis is very sad about this and would do anything to repair the building. Except, actually repairing the building. Yeah, that would be too much work for him. Up next, I do something that I'm certain I will be doing practically every day from now on. I accept a bunch of jobs from the bulletin board. If I complete even 1 or 2 of them each time, that's still a lot of friendship points with the villager who gave a quest to me. Along with at least a few hundred gold and a bit of progress towards receiving a prize ticket. I introduce myself to Marlin. I'm going to really prioritize his friendship during the early game. Increasing our friendship level with him will prove to be very beneficial as we make our way through the coming weeks and months. I enter the mines for the very first time in this playthrough. Ordinarily, I would feel a rather strong sense of misery that I wasn't able to find a strong weapon in a treasure chest while fishing. That isn't the case here though, as we have the forest sword. This one item trivializes the mines as it very easily takes care of all of the monsters we encounter. I find a wood club on floor 9, which in a vanilla playthrough would have been a sensational discovery. In this playthrough, however, the only weapon that will be replacing our forest sword shall be the insect head. I skedaddle to the community center to read the golden scroll inside. I almost forgot about this. That would have been quite the kerfuffle if I had. The Stardrop Saloon is full to the brim with villagers, so I speak to all of them for a teeny bit of bonus friendship points. I buy a few salads before returning to the mines for the rest of the day. Clinton has sent us a letter on day 6. He lets us know that we can send him a tool and 5 bars to him through our mailbox in order to have that tool upgraded. This right here is the game's way of introducing the mail services mod to us. This will be extremely handy, no doubt about that. 2 other important letters have been sent to us alongside that one. The wizard wants me to pay him a visit at his tower in the forest, and Marlin has said that if we can defeat 10 green slimes in the mines, we can join the Adventurers Guild. How exciting. Not wanting to waste any time, I enter the wizard's tower and speak with him. He introduces us to magical creatures called Junimos. They are the ones who put the golden scroll in the community center. The wizard teaches us how to read, speak, and understand their language. If we help the Junimos by giving them various items, then they will repair the community center for the town. And we will receive some fantastic rewards along the way. Before I do anything else, I want to complete a quest for Robin before I forget about it. I gather the 20 pieces of wood she wants and some more wood for myself and talk to Clinton to turn in a quest I accepted from him. Finally, the mythical prize ticket has been added to our inventory. I enter Lewis's house and interact with a lovely piece of machinery known as the prize machine. It takes my ticket off me and gives me 12 carrot seeds in return. The big prize in this machine, however, is the Stardrop tea. It doesn't appear often. I think 1 in every 6, 7, maybe 8 tickets will get us one. But you can give it to a villager to earn an entire heart of friendship with them, so it is quite a valuable item. I donate all 4 items needed for the spring foraging bundle along with a cave carrot to the exotic foraging bundle. A shad, catfish, sardine, bream and eel have all been donated to the fishing bundles too. I need to remember to bring the manao and the goldfish here too. I didn't realize we needed them for the community center. I received 30 spring seeds for completing the spring foraging bundle, and truthfully I'm still trying to decide whether to plant them or to sell them. I'll give it some thought. It's back to the mines for the rest of the day. Like I mentioned, I'm using the automate mod, so our furnaces are constantly working away and producing bars while I'm going through the mines. All I have to do is put coal and copper ore into a chest directly beside the furnace. As much as I want to make a beeline for floor 40, I do stop as often as I can to defeat the bugs I come across. I'm aiming to replace my sword before I reach floor 40, preferably 30 if I can. A notification appears while I'm on floor 29 letting me know that I've completed a monster eradication goal. That would be the bug eradication goal. Beautiful stuff. The insect head has officially been unlocked. All I have to do now is defeat 10 green slimes here, and then I can enter the Adventurers Guild and pick up my new weapon. Day 7 is here, which means we are already finishing up our first week here on the farm. I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the next 3 weeks. I defeat a couple of green slimes, unlocking access to the Adventurers Guild. I can't go in there right now though, as the place opens up at 12 o'clock I believe, and it's not even 10 AM right now. Instead, I go all in on the mines. I feel like I've built up an immunity to these dark floors. At one point I hated going through these levels, but now I can get through them in like 3 or 4 minutes at the very most. I think what it is my brain working overtime because it doesn't want to be stuck here for any longer than it has to be. Now that we've reached floor 40, we have access to iron ore. This ore can be smelted into iron bars, which will be a very important resource going forward. I enter the Adventurers Guild and I claim my beloved insect head. It's kind of funny to look back on this weapon and how it was before the 1.6 update. I don't think I used it a single time before then, it just wasn't very good, and that's downplaying it. You could do more damage to a monster by breathing near it than by using the insect head. And then the 1.6 update was released, and with it came a massive buff for the insect head. And now it is my undisputed favorite weapon to use in the mines. Every floor up to, I would say, floor 80 becomes a walk in the park, in terms of the monsters I mean. It is especially valuable for us right now as we still only have a basic pickaxe. I should upgrade that to copper soon now that I think about it. I make it to floor 55 and I call it a day. Day 8 begins with regret. You see, 4 villagers want a parsnip. If I had just bought a few of those seeds, that would have been 4 very, very, very easy jobs to complete, along with a nice bit of money, and friendship points, and a prize ticket. Let's not dwell on that for too long though, let's focus on the positives. I donate several doohickeys to the museum and receive both cauliflower and melon seeds as a reward. I have Clinton crack open my geodes and make even more donations to the museum. A starfruit seed has been acquired. We can only plant this during summer, and it's the same story with the melon seeds, but I mean still, it's nice to have them. I donate a yam to the fall crops bundle, shout out to the mines for helping me do that one, and a winter root to the winter foraging bundle. I'm making a very conscious effort to work on all of my skills. I'd like to reach level 10 in fishing, farming, foraging, mining and combat by the time we reach day 80 we'll say? So around the end of fall. Foraging runs are going to have to be a daily occurrence if we want to achieve that. In other news, William was here on my farm when I got back. He recommends that we go fishing at Shearwater Bridge as the fish there can be sold for a few hundred gold each. That is not a bad idea at all, thank you William. But first I donate a sunfish, a bullhead, a carp and a tadpole. Then I venture over to Shearwater Bridge. I spy some bubbles, so I cast my rod into that spot. The first fish that pops up embarrasses me, like, yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I got demolished by that fish. I recover from this as quickly as I can and I catch a butterfish. The remainder of the day is spent fishing here. A beautiful sight greets me when I leave my house on the morning of day 9. The strawberries have fully grown and are ready for harvest. This is obviously great news, but now we have a choice to make. Do we sell them for money or do we use them for energy? I want both. Yeah, I want money and easy energy. Why must this game force such a cruel dilemma upon me? My heart is telling me to use them for energy, but my head is telling me to sell them. I do something I don't usually do, and I listen to my head. With over 3,000 gold at her disposal, I ask Clinton to crack open some geodes, donate some bits and bobs to the museum, and ask Clinton to upgrade my pickaxe. I give an earth crystal to Elliot. I'm not sure why I'm highlighting him in particular, it's just sort of happening that way. The mailbox on the farm is being used to send gifts to a lot of other people. I just happen to have an item he likes on me every single time I bump into him. I have the shoplifter mod installed, and I may have considered stealing from William, but only for a split second. I promise I wasn't actually going to do it. I would never steal from him. Unless he had something valuable in his shop for me to steal, then I mean, yeah, maybe. I throw some fishy wishies into the shipping bin, pick up my furnaces in the mines, and do a bit of landscaping, shall we say, back on the farm. With a lot more space available for me to work with, I plant all of the crops that I've picked up during the last few days. I've also moved my furnaces to a spot just beside the house. Day 10 is a rainy day, and I couldn't be any happier about that because it means I don't have to water around 100 crops this morning. I cast my fishing rod at Morris. I don't have a reason for doing this, I just felt like it. Moving on quickly now, I enter Joja Mart, where Claire seems to be very much struggling to stay awake. It's 10 in the morning, which makes me believe she pulled an all-nighter. That's going to be me staying up all night to watch WrestleMania. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited to watch it. But it begins at midnight and it ends at like 4 in the morning, which is not ideal. But I shall persevere and watch it anyway. I spend all of my money on potato seeds and do a bit of fishing at Shearwater Bridge once again. I find the Jewels of the Sea book in a treasure chest. Reading this book allows me to find fish roe in treasure chests. So let's say for example we hook a butterfish and we catch a chest while catching that butterfish. We could find butterfish roe inside that chest. I'm mainly going after catfish here, which I won't complain about as I can sell them along with a few shad to William. I buy 10 cucumber and parsnip seeds, 5 cauliflower, tulip and blue jazz seeds, and 16 kale seeds. Then I buy 1 more parsnip seed. The happiness and excitement of purchasing all of these seeds can only be matched by the disappointment in realizing that they will all have to be watered tomorrow. But that is a bridge that I shall cross when I get to it. For now, I'm just going to bask in the feeling of complete and utter serenity I am experiencing as I plant all of the seeds I bought today. Field Snacks provided me with quite a helping hand here as they gave me all of the energy I need to plant everything. I craft and place many wood pathways on the farm in order to try to spruce up the place. I don't think it worked. I'm not sure how I feel about this look. It is my birthday on day 11. I think I have to talk to villagers and they might give me a birthday gift. I hope I get some cool stuff like, I don't know, maybe 40 iridium sprinklers, maybe, please? I read 3 letters, all of which are interesting for different reasons. Clinton has returned her copper pickaxe, thank you. Mother has sent us 500 gold, and Robin has lost her axe and would appreciate it if we can find it and return it to her. In other news, I am proud to announce that I have watered all of my seeds. It took a lot of time and I ate a lot of food, but I did it. I can't wait to never do this again until tomorrow morning. Like a bakery that has just ran out of ingredients, I need dough, and a lot of it. So I tossed a few items into the shipping bin. I grab my furnaces and a chest and return to what I truly consider to be my happy place, or at least one of them. The mines. I steamroll my way through this place. Or at least I go as far as I can before my complete lack of energy stops me in my tracks. I go to bed earlier than usual, feeling content with how today went. Then I realize I didn't talk to a single person today and did not receive a single birthday present. How sad. Carrots and strawberries are ready for harvest on day 12. I'm absolutely going to hold on to at least a portion of these to use as energy. I meet Mayor Lewis up in the mountain area. A big boulder is blocking the entrance to the far north of the map. A villager named Susan lives in the area behind this boulder, so she has essentially been cut off from the rest of the town. The Joja Corporation was supposed to get rid of the boulder, but they're kinda dilly-dallying. How rude of them. It is back to the mines where I find the master slingshot in a chest on floor 70. I reach floor 75, then floor 80. Gold ore can now be acquired. Well, we've been able to get gold ore this entire time, it just spawns in a lot more frequently now. I have officially found my groove, so I keep going. Gold ore, fire quartz, diamonds, and so many other valuable items are being found here. The Egg Festival takes place on day 13. As much as I want to attend that festival and especially take part in the egg hunt and win the straw hat, I shan't be doing that. I have made it my mission to reach floor 120 here, aka the bottom of this perilous cavern. While it is sad that I will not be able to wear the mystical straw hat, that misery is subsided by the collection of copious amounts of gold ore. Furthermore, I opened a chest on floor 100 and obtained my very first star drop. We have received a permanent boost to our energy. I spend a teeny tiny bit of time collecting iron ore before using a warp totem to get back to the farm. I left my farm without watering any of my seeds this morning. That is a choice that I'm now paying for, as I have to water all of them completely in the dark. Level 5 in mining has been reached. Sensational. I give a carrot to Marlin as I make my way to the mines on day 14. Then I enter the mines and do my absolute best to make it to floor 120 before the day is over. I've truly dedicated a substantial amount of time to the mines ever since they opened on day 5, so I think it's time we complete this area, so to speak. I'll still be coming here to get, copper, iron and gold ore, things like that, but I just want to be able to say that I've reached floor 120 in here. I find the steel falchion in a chest on floor 110, I will take that, thank you. Using a combination of this weapon, the copper pickaxe, strawberries, carrots and sheer willpower, I reached the very bottom of the mines. I open up the chest inside here and find the skull key. This is an item that we shall be using at some point. I don't know when exactly, it all depends on how soon we're able to reach the desert. Truthfully, I don't think I'll be able to do that before spring ends at the very earliest. I return to the farm and send my axe to Clinton along with 5 copper bars so he can upgrade it. The mail services mod is super handy. I feel like it's going to join the automate mod in the category of mods I simply cannot play the game without. Once again, I must water my seeds before going to sleep. I've learned my lesson, and so day 15 begins with the watering of the crops on the farm. I know, I'm proud of myself too. Moving on to a more light-hearted piece of news, Dusty the dog was very happy to see us this morning. That was a nice pick-me-up after the 5 minutes I spent watering crops this morning. Shane wants a coffee for a salad he is making. I can actually do that one. I can buy a coffee in the saloon and give it... Hold on. Oh, hey, wait, hold on. Hang on. What does he mean he needs a coffee for a salad he's making? What do you mean by that? I'm not sure I want to help him with this one. I mean, I will because I want the money and the friendship points. But still, that worries me. I'm concerned about him now. I donate a clam, a cockle, an oyster, a mussel, and a crab to fully complete the crab pot bundle. I am given 3 crab pots as a reward, and the boiler room has just been unlocked. Wasting no time at all, I donate everything that is needed for this one. The minecart system in the town will be repaired tonight. And on top of that, the vault room and bulletin board bundles have also been unlocked, meaning every single bundle is now available to us. I donate a bottle of wine, a frozen geode, and a red mushroom to the bulletin board. I donate a cauliflower and a parsnip, then I permanently borrow an energy tonic from Harvey. Speaking of Harvey, fun fact for you, I'm banned from his clinic. You see, a few days ago I went to him for a checkup, and he did the usual thing, he ran a test and he showed me the results, and he said to me, "Your tonsils they're not looking good, we need to take them out." And so I looked at him, and I said, "Sure thing, Harvey, why don't you come over here and take them from me?" Guess what I still have? That's right, my tonsils. And a lifetime ban from his clinic, like I mentioned. I bump into a fellow named Andy in the big forest. He highly recommends foraging here, as there are some valuable items that can be found in this location. That is exactly what I'm going to spend the remainder of the night doing. Foraging. I bump into Shane before I head back home. He offers me a cold one. I'm going to assume it's a cold can of cherry Pepsi, which I will very happily accept. I find Robin's axe in the forest, and the Junimos repair the minecarts overnight. Clinton has mailed our copper axe back to us on day 16. I harvest a grand total of 2 strawberries along with plenty of kale and potatoes and a tulip. I make 50 spring seeds which are planted. Robin will give us over 2,000 gold and a prize ticket in exchange for a diamond. That is an offer I cannot refuse. I enter the shop just in time to watch Morris walk in. He starts handing out discounts for the local Georgia Mart he's in charge of. An entire 50% discount. That is so just unbelievably rude and underhanded and vile. How dare he come in here and steal all of the customers, and can I possibly get one of those discounts too, please? I sell a bunch of items, but I keep hold of the mushrooms and strawberries for community center and energy purposes. Back on the farm, Demetrius has shown up. You know the drill. We have a choice to make. We can either have different fruit spawn in a cave on our farm, or we can have mushrooms appear in there instead. I go with the mushrooms. I once again send my axe to Clinton to have it upgraded and explore the area our greenhouse is located in. There's grass and boulders and trees all over the place. I want nothing more than to clean up this entire place, but I am a busy bee. I simply do not have the time today. I donate an emerald, a fire quartz and a diamond to the museum and the following items to the community center. An aquamarine, a chub, a purple mushroom, a ghost fish, a red mushroom, another purple mushroom, a crystal fruit, a common mushroom, stone, and clay. I give a diamond to Robin as she asked for and spend all of my money on mixed seeds. 49 of them to be exact. I trade my ticket for an orange tree sapling, have Clinton crack open various geodes and donate even more items. I sold a few bits and bobs to Clinton, so I used that money to buy 9 more seeds. Then I sell more items to Pierre and buy 2 potato seeds, 100 parsnip seeds, and 9 more mixed seeds. I was all over the place here. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I'm happy with the result. You know, I'm happy with everything that I bought. I have some rather unfortunate news to end the day with. I sadly have to water all of my crops. I need a pick-me-up, and that is exactly what I get when I go to sleep. The game notifies me that I can now find mystery boxes. Strawberries and spring forage are ready to collect on day 17, along with a few tulips and potatoes. I make 70 spring seeds, harvest kale, and plant more parsnip seeds. We could do with some more money, so I tossed the majority of the crops I have into the shipping bin. I would have sold them to Pierre, but he doesn't want to work on Wednesdays. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very understandable, but it's also an inconvenience at the best of times. I do a bit of fishing at the beach before turning my attention to the river in town. Later in the day, I donate a starfish to the ocean fish bundle and a potato to the spring crops bundle. I follow that up with a fishing expedition up in the mountain area. I wanted to catch a frog for the community center, and I did, so you know, that was nice. I spend the majority of the night fishing here. I ran into Sebastian while I was on my way to the community center, so I decided to give him a frog. It turns out he loves them, which is good to know because I have more frogs than I know what to do with. Speaking of which, I donate 1 to the community center before tossing most of my inventory into the shipping bin. I made almost 10,000 gold. Not too shabby. Clinton has finished upgrading our axe for the second time on day 18, and a lot of crops are ready for harvest. What a wonderful way to begin the day. I take my new axe for a test drive and I chop down a few trees. This right here is like giving my brain a massage. The feeling I get when I chop down trees with the steel axe is legitimately soothing in a whole different way. I buy 100 wood from Robin and ask her to add a coop to the farm. Her shop has also been expanded thanks to the Everyone Sells Everything mod. I can buy things like kegs, heavy tappers, seed makers, and so many more items from her. They are all rather expensive though, so it might be a while before I buy any of them. And now, finally, 31 quality sprinklers have been made. This is absolutely the best moment that has happened in this entire playthrough so far. I cannot even begin to describe how much of an absolute relief this is. I set a goal for myself to make 40 quality sprinklers before spring ends, so making 31 of them right now is, well, it feels good. I don't have enough sprinklers to cover every crop that I have planted, and I thought I would be okay with that, but now I just want to make even more sprinklers and cover the entire field of crops. Especially as I'm adding to that field right now with even more parsnip and spring seeds. But yeah, today has been a phenomenal day, and I reached level 5 in foraging, so I choose the Forester perk. I am feeling 2 things on day 19. The first is pride. I am very, and I cannot stress this enough, very proud of how our farm looks. The second is the unrelenting desire to make 17 more sprinklers. And that will be done. Those sprinklers will be crafted in due time. Right now, I'm going to put my axe to good use and chop down some tree stumps. I finally have access to the apricot tree. I believe I need an apricot for the community center, so this is perfect. I head up to the greenhouse and go to the left side where I chop down some trees and break a few stones. I have found the cave that contains our mushrooms. Nice, I kinda sorta forgot about this, but hey, we found it, so now we can start collecting all of the items that are produced in here. Right, now we can focus on making more sprinklers. It's off to the mines where I collect iron ore and coal to begin with. Then I focus on gold ore instead. Just before the night ends, I make 7 quality sprinklers which I place on the farm. Wasting no time whatsoever, I make a beeline for the mines on day 20. I've got enough refined quartz and iron bars to make 11 sprinklers, I just need 6 more gold bars. After getting the ore I need, I let it smelt away in the furnace while I tend to my farming duties. I harvest a few parsnips and water the 81 seeds that aren't being watered by sprinklers. That evening, while I'm collecting more coal and ores in the mines, I make 11 sprinklers. Things are really going our way as I also find the Monster Compendium book. Monsters now have a small chance to drop double the loot they usually drop. I place the sprinklers I made and breathe a sigh of relief. Every single crop on the farm will now be watered automatically each and every morning. With all of that taken care of, I finally feel comfortable sending my pickaxe to Clinton so he can upgrade it. And that is it for today. Strawberries and parsnips are harvested on day 21, and I see that our coop has been built. You know, it's dawned on me that spring is really just a preparation season for me. It's difficult to describe, but my main goal, above making money or substantial progress in the community center, is to just get the farm set up. That's why I wanted to make 40 quality sprinklers. I think I have 49 right now, which is even better than I expected. We have a coop, and I just asked Robin to add a silo to the farm. We've got an iron axe, and our pickaxe is being upgraded to iron quality. I suppose the final thing I really want to achieve is to ask Robin to add a barn to the farm. That, for me at least, is a successful spring. Anyway, I meet Leah outside the museum. She is growing some green beans in the community garden. She offers me one which I gratefully accept. It tastes pretty good. She gives me another one which the game adds to my inventory. I donate it to the community center along with an apricot and hardwood. Lewis wants a parsnip and so does Jody. Jody was standing right behind me when I accepted the quest, so I very quickly give her one. I love it when that happens. I sell a few items, give a parsnip to Lewis, and almost, but not quite, steal some bread from the saloon. I can't do it. Gustavo, to put it simply, is a good person. I can't justify stealing something from him. I crack open some geodes, donate artifacts and minerals to the museum, and visit Fairhaven Farm. It is located in the forest and is owned by Andy. I have a nice conversation with him about farming in which he tells me that he'll send me some strawberry seeds in the mail soon. How kind of him. Like, unironically, that is the nicest thing that anyone has done for me so far. I've decided to ask Marnie to add some chickens to her new coop. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mick, Madge, Janice, and Mel. Marnie's shop looks like it hasn't been affected by the Everyone Sells Everything mod. She's still selling the essentials though, like a heater, a milk pail, and hay. I chopped down the tree log beside the travelling cart. We now have access to the secret woods. This place has been changed by the Stardew Valley Expanded mod, and it's a pretty big change. It's a much bigger area now. I find a rare seed. Neat, I can plant this during fall. I do a bit of fishing and I catch a wood skip and a grass carp. I need the wood skip for the community center, so I wanted to get that done as soon as possible. Finally, I chop down a log which allows me to enter the big forest from this area. Andy's here on day 22. He warns me about the crows that are flying around the place. He doesn't want me to lose any of the crops that are growing here on the farm. You know what? I think Andy might just be my favorite character added by the Stardew Valley Expanded mod so far. I mean, look at this. He even gave me 3 strawberry seeds. Speaking of crops, strawberries, tulips, cucumber, kale, and potatoes are all harvested today, with a large portion of them being thrown into the shipping bin. I accidentally send Robin's axe back to her through the mailbox. I was trying to send strawberries to people, but because Robin's axe was in my inventory, it completed the quest Robin gave me to return her axe to her. It has taken me 22 days, but I have finally made a scarecrow. I apologize to you all for taking this long to do so. A cucumber has been donated, which means the spring crops bundle has been completed. I received 20 speed grow as a reward, which I may end up using during summer. Maybe. I pay a visit to Sophia. She gives me a quality sprinkler. This is perfect. Absolutely phenomenal stuff right here. We can also buy sprinklers from her, which means both her and Pierre are selling sprinklers. That's good to know. I do a bit of fishing south of her farm. Demetrius would like me to catch 4 herring. I want to get this done as I will get a prize ticket for completing it. It takes a solid couple of minutes, but I get all 4 herring I need. All I have to do now is talk to Demetrius and I shall receive my ticket. Upon entering the forest, I encounter the wizard. He drops a bit of lore about Stardew Valley. Because he is the resident magician or wizard, it is his responsibility to keep Pelican Town and the Valley of Stardew safe. He has put a massive magical barrier around the area to keep all of the monsters out. He also tells us about Camilla. She is a witch who resides in a place called Castle Village. She is in control of the largest magical barrier in the world. Back on the farm, I chopped down enough trees to get the 25 wood Robin asked me to get. That's the good news. The bad news is I can't turn in the quest because she's too busy adding a silo to the farm. I spend the rest of the day chopping down trees. I pause for a moment to send a diamond to Andy before returning to my role as a lumberjack. I clear out the remaining boulders and trees on the right side of the farm on the morning of day 23. I've also literally just noticed a minecart over here. I can't use it though. I destroyed a boulder up here and it revealed the entrance to a secret cave. I found iron ore, copper ore and geodes inside here. I harvest a bunch of crops and forage, make 40 spring seeds and toss some things into the shipping bin, including all of the spring seeds I made. We should get a hefty payday from all of this. I buy some bait from William, followed by some more bait, followed by even more bait. I place 2 crab pots here at the beach and toss bait into a chest beside them. The automate mod will work its magic on these. I utilize 300 pieces of wood to repair the broken bridge, unlocking a new area. Sea urchin and coral can be found here, 2 items which I will try to grab as often as I can. I place another crab pot in town, again putting a chest with bait beside it. I trade my ticket for 15 flower seeds. If you plant these seeds, then flowers from the season you're in will grow, so for example if we were to plant them right now, they would turn into tulips and blue jazz. I talk to Robin to complete one quest and talk to Demetrius to complete another quest. I spend the remainder of the day fishing. Mayor Lewis has sent us 500 gold on day 24. I will not be bribed into liking you, Lewis. I still believe, and I will always believe, that you are nothing more than a grade A top-class rapscallion of the worst nature. I say good morning to my chickens. I am pleased to announce that they seem to be doing very well here on the farm. I have accidentally chopped down a persimmon tree. Oops, I'll have to plant that again. We need a persimmon for the community center. The flower festival is today, which means 2 things. Number 1, I buy the tub of flowers crafting recipe and a rare crow. And number 2, I shall not be dancing with anybody. I'm far too busy just thinking about making even more quality sprinklers in the future. The crops on the farm are now safey wafy from the crows. Mayor Lewis is here on the farm once again on day 25. I am seeing a lot more of Lewis than I would like to. I harvest and then plant some coffee beans. Eventually I want to be able to have a never-ending supply of coffee for the speed boost they give. It will likely be some time before I get to that point though. I spend the morning clearing out multiple sections on the farm, then I have Robin add a pond to the farm. I'm still going to try to buy a barn before the end of day 28, but I have just had an idea. It requires fishing, and a lot of fishing, as I would like to bump my fishing level up to at least level 9, if not level 10. With that in mind, the rest of the day is spent fishing. I plant more coffee beans, check on my chickens, and pick up a few eggs on the morning of day 26. I harvest all of the spring forage that has grown and make a total of 160 new spring seeds. I'm holding on to a few of the actual spring forage items, just in case I need them for a quest in the future. I crack open a few geodes and make a few donations to the museum. We have donated a total of 40 items. Well done us. A rare crow has just been obtained. Harvey and Demetrius both want a parsnip. I love it when this happens. As in when 2 people want the same item. I run into William in the forest. He tells me about the king salmon he caught while fishing in the big forest. This is similar to the cutscene in which he told us about the Shearwater Bridge fish. I do a bit of fishing in the area William just told us about. I catch a pike. In vanilla Stardew, I don't think you can catch this fish during spring. It starts appearing during summer. And the same goes for the Dorado, I believe. Honestly, I wish there were more areas like this that allowed you to catch fish early. It was a bit of a challenge, but the king salmon has been caught and compromised to a permanent end. I chop down a few trees, use a warp totem to teleport to the mountains and enter the community center. A largemouth bass, a wood skip, a king salmon and 499 pieces of wood have all been donated. Level 9 in fishing has been achieved. It is Emily's birthday on day 27, so I sent her an emerald. A parsnip has also been sent to both Harvey and Demetrius. Now that we're approaching the end of spring, I feel like I should sort of dial back how much I talk about certain things. This includes planting and harvesting seeds. I think I'll only do this if I'm buying seeds at the beginning of a new season. Or if I'm planting and harvesting important crops, or crops I haven't used in the playthrough so far. Selling a few items and earning, we'll say, below 10,000 gold, I don't think I need to mention that anymore. I will talk about the big sales though. In terms of accepting jobs from the bulletin board, turning in a quest, and sending gifts to a villager, I might mention them here and there, but I'm very likely only going to mention these things when I receive a prize ticket or a lot of money or when it's someone's birthday. I think that covers the more repetitive topics, so let's get back to the gameplay. The legend appears while I'm fishing up in the mountain area and it completely destroys me. Yeah, that was not ideal. I'm going to try not to let that happen again. Unfortunately, I did let it happen again as it showed up for the second time and embarrassed me even further. Third time is the charm, however, as I successfully catch it when it pops up for the third time. I toss it into the pond and place a chest beside the pond. The roe that it produces will automatically be placed into the chest thanks to the automate mod. If I make a preserves jar, I can place that beside the chest and we'll be able to make aged legend roe. I think that stuff sells for around 5,000 gold each. I spend the rest of the day chopping down trees. I have found a cherry tree. This farm right here, the Frontier Farm, just became my favorite. Day 28 is here and I have made a preserves jar. Our bank account will be receiving a nice boost every time we collect the roe it produces. I chop down even more trees and ask Robin to add a barn to the farm. And that was the final thing I wanted to get done before spring came to an end. Marlin has officially invited me to join the Adventurers Guild. I gotta say, I am really happy with how these last 28 days have gone. I genuinely cannot wait to see what happens during the rest of this journey. I craft a cookout kit and use it to cook a fried egg. I enter the big forest with the goal of finding a 4-leaf clover. Thankfully, it doesn't take long at all to get my hands on one. I use a warp totem to get to the mountains and hippity hop my way to the community center. The 4-leaf clover, a sea urchin, a fried egg, a goldfish and a minnow have all been handed over. And that is it for spring. I hope you've enjoyed watching the first 28 days of our journey through the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. Like I mentioned, I'm really happy with how it went. We've got a barn, a coop and a pond on the farm. Our pickaxe and our axe are both iron quality. The mines have been completed. And we've made good use out of the various mods I'm using alongside Stardew Valley Expanded and seen what they have to offer. Links to all of these mods can be found in the description if you're interested in using any of them. Anywhomst, I feel like this is a good place to end the video. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.